Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Kansas Motor Speedway. Actually, I don't know if it's Motor Speedway. I think it's just Speedway, but it doesn't really matter because we're live from Kansas for our second league race of the year. Drivers are finishing up qualifying. I've got Rob here with me. Say hello, everybody, Rob.
Hello, everybody. Thanks, Kyle.
So, you have any kind of predictions for this race, Rob?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a handful of wrecks, and I think that we're also going to see a 1.5-mile speedway that's going to race a lot like a short track tonight, since it's going to be mostly one lane up at the top there.
Yeah, I'd have to say about the same. I know we both kind of ran some laps during practice, kind of check out the track, and one thing's for sure is that bottom lane works for about a lap really, really well, and after that, it's pretty much unusable in terms of speed. But 3 and 4, I think, is going to be the passing zone here. If you're going to go low, that's pretty much the only time you can. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it seems that way to me as well. It also seems like you can carry more momentum into 3 and 4. Not by a lot, but just a little more. You'd be a little more heavy on the gas. But as you come up to the exit, that wall shows up real quick.
All right, so it looks like qualifying is finished up now.
Yeah, Brendan Jinx won the pole by 1/1000th of a second over Curtis Sawyer.
Yeah, we'll pull that up here. That's not the right one. There's that. I know there's one on here.
That's a bonus point for the Dash Brothers.
So the Dash Brother got a bonus point apparently.
Yep, you get a bonus point for getting the pole, so that's going to be a bonus point for Jinx in the championship. Of course, every point matters.
Who was it that got pole position?
It was Brendan Jinx.
All right. So as I get lined up here, let's go ahead and kind of go through the grid. So it looks like it's not okay because I'm definitely not okay. We were going to do that, but we're not going to do that now because it's messed up. It has me as starting first, and I'm not
excellent
in the race. So that's not good. So we'll go ahead and just pull up the ticker then. See what it says. And that iRacing thing over there that's weird. I don't know. We're running kind of two different things here, and they're kind of clipping through each other, kind of weird.
And 64. Leaders also on restarts and starts have a lane choice. I will be taking the high side.
So there you have it. Pole,
of course you are.
Pole winner is going to take the high side for the
Oh, so there are stages. Okay.
Start.
Yes, sir.
Do we get bonus points in the race?
Sounds like they're just having a couple of last-minute conversations there about when the stages are and how all that works.
Yep, it's definitely going to be a pretty good race. That it's going to shape up here. I'm hoping, anyways. But yeah, the pole winner wants to take that high side for the start of the race, so that just shows how important that line is to him. But I do believe that lower lane can work here, at least for the start, for the first lap.
Yeah, I think it's interesting he's going to try that outside lane on the first start of the race, Kyle, because I really think that as we move forward through the race, that's going to be a bad idea.
Well, I know in practice, the 17 car there starting in third, he ran the fastest lap of the race, or of practice, the last time I checked. So the 54 shouldn't be too big of a threat if he does lose that spot. But
good luck.
Obviously, he's still got a pretty good lap down there to get second. So, you know, these guys up here in the top 5 and 6 are definitely going to be factors.
Up for a second.
All right, let's get this thing started. They get ready to go here, and Brendan Jinx is off and away. Pretty calm restart.
Got an excellent start there. He took off and it was time to go, that's for sure.
Yes, and speaking of excellent restarts, Boyd got a really good start there as well, moved them to moved into second position right away.
Yeah, he followed him there. Took a much lower line through 1 and 2 as well. Looks like he wants to chase him down.
Looks like they got single file pretty quick, but moving a little further back there, we have the 13 of Cade Norton side by side with the 42 of Rents Brown.
13's making that low line work, but that 42 is going to take that position.
And 9's going to follow him as well.
Looks like we got 2 guys with the same paint scheme. That's awesome. Oh boy, yeah, that's that outside line, man. It's the power line.
It's heating up for the lead here. Looks like Boyd's going to the outside of his teammate, Brendan Jenks. He's going to get that done. Is the 7 going to be able to slide up in second? Oh, they touch a little bit there, Kyle.
He wanted to follow him through there. He just couldn't quite get far enough. That 17 wanted to slide up there.
Yeah, and Oliver gave him a bit of a shot. I don't think he was too happy about that.
I wouldn't be either. Pretty much got cut off. That would be considered a late block, I think.
Oliver's going to get to the inside of him now. Let's see if he can actually hold the inside and pass him down to 1 and 2. It's been very difficult all night. Looks like he might try the slide job as a payback here, and he's going to cross him over. Jinx is going to go to the inside. Oliver's in the wall a little bit.
I'm so sorry. 13, why'd you come hit me like that, man?
We're going to lose a couple positions there. That 42 gets around him, so that 42's been working around. Working his way through the field.
You know, and this is something that we saw in our practice races as well, Kyle, was Oliver, he was always really quick, but he seemed to have an issue with consistency, and he kept putting himself in bad situations and ultimately lost him the race.
Yeah, he actually ended up getting the Daytona win. Just some off-track drama and, you know, failed inspections, things of that nature. So he ended up getting that Daytona win. From that, he finished second in that race.
Boy, do we have fast repairs?
1 fast repair.
And the 9 car of Billy Meadows is on pit road. Looks like he got damaged in an incident with somebody. He's coming down to get that fixed.
Yeah, we got him there. Let's see if we can check out that damage, get a good camera angle. We don't really have that great of a camera angle. It doesn't look too bad unless he used this fast repair or not. Not really sure.
Yeah, it looks like the 13 car slid up into him a little bit, and then he touched the wall, got really loose after that. Just couldn't get it gathered back up, and he hit the inside wall pretty hard, Kyle. No doubt he had to come down.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see it, so I don't know. Let's,
Yeah, sometimes getting back to that stuff for the broadcast is a little difficult.
Yeah, got a lot going on over here. I got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This doesn't even need to be open. I don't know why that's open, so we'll just get rid of that.
And the yellow flag's out.
Sorry, or fucking not Oliver. Evan, sorry about that, man.
So Evan's a 25, so apparently he was involved in that. See if we can get a
Evan, you got a copy?
replay.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I got loose there. I was worried about Oliver fucking coming up and killing us, and I just didn't pay attention there.
Not sure how to use that replay system yet. Let me make sure we're live real quick. No, we're on a replay. I want to make sure we're live. I don't want to get left behind. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Joshua Nelson just got real loose on the top lane, came down, and caught the 25 there.
I was trying to figure out who it was so I could kind of get back there, but wasn't sure who wrecked.
I think we're going to see a lot of this tonight, Kyle, where it's only been 9 laps, but I'm imagining everyone's coming down pit road for 4 tires here.
Oh, yeah. Definitely an advantage on a restart if you have better tires than the drivers in front of you. So you don't want to get left.
The tires wear so fast.
Oh, they do, yeah. You don't want to get left up front not pitting, so it'll be interesting if we come down to a late caution. If anybody's going to end up staying out, trying to make that work. I think you could, but it's going to be very difficult to hold off that bottom lane. So 51.7. Looks like most drivers are coming down pit road here.
You know, these guys, I don't think any of them practice where their pit stalls are at, so hopefully everyone can get in clean.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that last week, too. I'm pretty sure, you know, that's just the hardest part is that first time you come down pit road, you just don't really know where your pit stall is yet. You always see it and you turn it down.
Looks like the 13 may have taken 2 tires. The 42 as well. Actually, it looks like, unless Boyd got a really bad stop there, I think the whole first 4 cars took 2 tires there.
Yeah, Boyd came off way in the back. Looks like 5th.
Yeah, so not only is he starting in 5th, but he's also on that inside line. We'll see what line, which lane the leader takes, as that may affect him and how quickly he can get back to the front.
So 13 is going to get his chance now for the lead. We'll see what he takes in terms of line, see if he wants to go for that outside line as the 7 did, which it did work out for the 7 on the restart, or at the start of the race, rather.
Going back and taking a look at these pit stop times, it looks like the 13 took 2 tires. Looks like the 25 took 2 tires. Looks like everybody else took 4 there. So maybe just a bad pit stop for Boyd.
Yeah, mine and the 42 moved up into 3rd, and looks like that's the 54 up there in 4th. So those two have pretty much followed each other up through the field. I don't know where they started at, though. So what was that? About 9 green flag laps? Maybe 8?
Yeah, that was 9 green flag laps, which sets us up for about a 20-lap run to the end of stage 1.
Which ends at the end of lap 32.
So Cade Norton started 6th, Kyle.
Stuff's acting weird.
All right.
I know he was involved in a little altercation with Billy Meadows there at one point. Slid up, got him in the wall. So I wonder if the 13 has any damage, and if he does, is it severe enough to really affect the car?
Well, we're looking at him right now. It doesn't look like he's got much. Try to get a little bit closer. I mean, I don't see any damage at all, at least on this left side, the front or the rear. Not sure about the right side of this car, though. So lights on the pace car should go out this time. For 1 to go. And they do.
You want top or bottom, Cade?
I'm concerned about this 2-tire choice in the 13, especially after we saw a little bit of a lack of car control there just a few laps earlier. Now he's going to have all these guys with fresh tires around him, and could get a little sketchy here.
We'll see how it goes. See if that bottom lane does him well, and that first starting position can maybe treat him well as well if he gets a good restart. Get out in front of these guys. If you get out in front of him, I think you'll be able to hold him off. At least if he holds him off for a couple laps, he should be okay.
Now with Boyd Hogan's starting position, I was talking to him last night, and he was talking about, because this is going to be a 1-lane racetrack, that his game plan was to drive hard and fast, and if a guy's in the way, give him a lap or 2, and if they're still in the way, then he's going to give him the bumper. So we'll see if he feels that way now that he's actually at the car, especially this early on in the race.
Yeah, especially starting on the bottom. He's not necessarily in the preferred lane for a long run, so see how long it takes for him to get singled out.
13 goes right away, so that's going to give him a nice jump on the rest of the field. Looks like they get pretty sorted behind him pretty quickly here.
Well, having the 42 behind him, that doesn't surprise me. That 42 will jump on the restart for you. If you don't go before he goes, he might take a bumper to you. But the 7's going to maintain 2nd. Looks like the 54 is looking
by side
fine.
for 3rd. Yep. Let's see if he can actually do anything. The grip's only there for about a lap, but that momentum off the high side looks like it's going to carry him by, as Boyd's going to start looking to the high side now.
Yep, he's going to try to get it for it, that's for sure. 54 is going to get stuck down there again.
No doubt, Brendan Jinks is way faster than the 13 of Cade Norton. He's going to have a big run on him coming out of turn 2 here. See where he takes it to the inside. See if he can complete the pass in turn 3 and 4. He might try to slide up pretty close, but he's able to fit it in there. And
Oh,
we
the
get the
25
around.
Looks like he's going to save it.
Yeah, he's going to save it. He'll go for a wild ride through the grass, but keeps it all in one piece.
Oh, he's still going. It looks like that transition onto the asphalt was not pleasant for him. If we can get it going again, we won't have to worry about a caution. Looks like that 51 is getting inside of the 42 now.
Yeah, and you know, the question is that the 13's a little slow. 42 might get stuck behind the 13 on those old tires here. It looks like Boyd's going to dive it all the way to the bottom. He's going to try the slide job. That's a bit of a risky move, and he's in the fence.
Oh, he's in the wall. That's going to slow him down. Awfully aggressive move for lap 16.
Yeah, definitely too aggressive in my opinion. I wonder how much damage he got from that.
We'll definitely get a good look at it next time, but I already switched the camera, so...
I'm taking a look at it here from my perspective, and there's a fair amount of right side damage and right front damage on that car.
Ooh, 42 and the 54 looking on the inside of the 13 now. They're 3 wide going into turn 3.
Oh, and they're going to make it work.
Yeah, they made it work.
The 13 really loose. He's going to catch the wall there.
He wiggled big time there. My goodness. Tire's already taking a toll.
Yeah, like I said, man, those 2 tires are a bad idea. And he's still off the pace as they get to turn 1.
Still no caution for these incidents, though. Let's get a lead on our leader here.
I think the 17 of Oliver Cordell got in the wall going into 3 as well, and he's off the pace.
Yeah, he does appear to have some right front damage there just behind the wheel.
So plenty of action on the racetrack tonight, Kyle. Maybe a little crazier than I expected, especially for the early part of the race.
Looks like the 14 has some front end damage as well. He's kind of leading that back group of cars.
I think the 14 got his damage when he got in the back of the 25 there about lap 9. That's what brought out our first caution.
Okay.
Looks like he elected not to get it fixed when he came down pit road.
These guys get real lined up for the corner, and then they get to the straightaway. They kind of fan out going to the tri-oval.
Ooh, 9 car. Got a little loose there, stacked up. The
17.
87, I believe that is.
17 looked inside of the 87, and he's got past him so far. We'll see if he can hold it off a corner. He's actually looking under the 9 now.
The nine's getting real tight on these exits.
Well, the damage didn't seem to slow that 17 down at all. He's going to take the advantage from that high side, it looks like. He's going to get a really good
we got one around Boyd Hogan, and everyone's in it. Oh, my goodness. What happened there? Looks like Boyd, Hogan, and Joshua Nelson are both pretty much totaled here.
Let's try to go back a little further here. See what he did.
He just lost it all on his own, Kyle.
He's definitely driving that car hard.
Overcorrects right back up in front of traffic, and Nelson had absolutely nowhere to go. Just clobbers him.
I think I went back too far or something because they're still going. These replay controls are super weird. I don't know.
00, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find an opportunity to kind of help show you how those work. But in the meantime, we'll just work with what we got.
Yeah, we'll just deal with it, I guess.
Hey, Evan.
Oh, he gets into the wall, yeah.
You don't think I turned you?
No, I got loose and the damage you gave me the first time.
The 00 and the 51 just got together. Oh, not just, but they got together coming down pit road. Looks like just a mix-up there. And this is where guys need to be happy that they have a fast repair, because those are going away pretty soon. That would have been the end of both of their days if that were the case.
Had to make sure I was live there. I wasn't sure, but we're good now. I am kind of understanding what these controls are doing. It's just a little weird. So I have the 87 is of Kenneth McConville in first right now, and Cody Whipp in second. Did those two not pit?
Yeah, it looks like they didn't pit, and they've been on those same tires for 14 laps at this point. It looks like they're just trying to play the gamble for the stage points. I'm not really sure how well that's going to work out for them here.
Well, we saw how it worked out for the 13.
Yeah, not well.
So I think we have a pretty good expectation of what's going to happen here, especially with the two of them starting on the front row. I see the 7 there starting in third, and the 54.
And it looks like the 00 is going to come down pit road now.
Okay, so 87 is going to stay out. No. Looks like he's got some damage too from maybe. Couldn't quite tell there.
Well, at this point, who doesn't have damage? I think the 7 car is clean. I think the 54 is doing all right. A lot of these other guys have damage, though. And some of them may have used a fast repair. You only get one. And they're only 24 laps in, so, I mean, that's not really ideal.
Looks like there's no damage there on the 87. Just kind of looked like it was kind of weird, but seems like the guys that are running up front and pretty comfortable are the ones that don't have any damage. Ones that are in the back trying to work their way up and maybe just working a little bit too hard. Seems like the calm people, the calm drivers are keeping their stuff in one piece as of right now.
So it looks like Joshua Nelson and Boyd Hogan were able to get to pit road under their own power. So
Higher or low?
with that said, Boyd Hogan is 1 lap down now.
So it looks like Kev joined the stream here. How you doing there, Kev? Long time league guy with us from back in the day. I'm sure Boyd would be excited to see that he was in here right now, but we're going to let him race for now. So it looks like the 87 actually is coming down pit road now.
Yeah, I think they both kind of changed their minds once they realized the position they put themselves in.
Oh, yeah, so it should help us start out, though. We got 2 guys, or, well, everybody up there really is on new tires now. So.
At lap 27 or after will end the stage.
Yeah, so like Boyd was saying, if we get a wreck after the beginning of lap 27, that will be the end of the stage. But the end of the stage, if we stay green, will be the end of lap 32. So after starting the initial start of the race from the top lane, looks like Brendan Jenks is going to start this restart from the bottom. So maybe he learned a little something there.
Yeah, that's a good point. And he's definitely looking as one of the stronger cars right now, but the 42 and the 54 have worked their way through the field. So I'm interested to see if those two have anything to bring forth to the 7 car for the rest of this race.
Yeah, and let's not forget about the 17 either. You know, he's been pretty quick if he could stay out of trouble. But here we go, getting a restart here. We have just a few laps to go before the stage is over, and it looks like the 52 didn't go on the restart here, and the 17 stuck behind him. Everybody else takes off.
Would that be the 54 that didn't go?
That is the 52 of Brandon Nelson.
Okay,
yeah,
so
a little further back.
Okay.
Oh, and they almost wrecked back there, too. Cody Whipp and Oliver Cordell almost got together.
Easy there, 17.
They're all over the place back there, and Boyd's right in the middle of it.
He'll hit the wall in about 3 laps.
So there's definitely
some racing.
Yeah, there's some racing going on back there. So I said there was 2 guys with the same scheme, and that's actually 3.
Yeah, and I believe those guys are on the same team. I think that was a decision by the team to run those paint schemes. They said they actually had 4 guys that were going to run those Bud paint schemes, but one of them wasn't able to make the race this evening.
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate for them, losing a guy, but it looks like that 17's trying to make that low line work right now. This is not working out, I don't think.
He's sliding up quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, that guy gives everything. Oliver gives everything every single lap. And like I said before, sometimes it gets him in trouble, but to go fast, man, you have to give it your all.
Yep. Nobody's going to just let you go.
Nice run for the 9 car coming out of turn 2 there. That is Billy Meadows. Surprised to see him run the bottom there once he got clear, but maybe he... Oh, 25. Got the wall a little bit on exit there. Looks like everyone's going to get through clean.
I think it's like we said earlier in the race, though, going through the bottom of 3 and 4 is not so bad. It's really 1 and 2 where those tires matter. So I think he's just able to make it work a little better through 3 and 4 there. Especially entering the corner so low.
Yeah, it's just a mess of cars back here. These guys are having trouble getting it sorted out. Who should be where?
Our 3 leaders are kind of just pulling away at this point.
And I thought Curtis Sawyer was starting to run down Jenks a little bit there, but he lost a little bit there in that last lap. Although he's got a nice run coming out of turn 2.
His 2 teammates almost got into each other. That 25, he's trying to put a bumper to his teammate right in front of him. Cody Whip's going to show up to the scene now. And that 00 machine. Look at that high line work, though. 25 is just going to make it look easy.
Oh, and Oliver Cordell just dumped the 13 car. Joshua Nelson's in it.
Oliver, you're a fucking moron. I can take out some more fucking man. What the fuck?
Obviously some choice words there.
Some unhappy drivers.
Come on, 52.
See what happened here.
Hey, I'd like to get that 17 reviewed, because that was interesting.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
moron's trying
13.
to get back to the pole position in 5 laps.
13 wants race control to take a look at the 17 car there. I mean, I don't really know if there's anything to really do about that other than just looking at it and seeing it for what it is. Just an ill-advised move to the top side there.
I mean, to me, it looks like the 17 is about as high as it can go. Looks like maybe the 13
it's just kind of a last-second move to the outside. The 13 wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. Seems
We're gonna
awful
call that
hard.
one a racing incident, guys.
All right, so there it is from race control.
Race control, Russell Keats coming in, letting us know.
You might want to
rule that, and I think that's a good call, Russell.
Yeah, you might want to go ahead and put that into the iRacing chat as well, so they know.
So, lost in a little bit of that drama there. Brendan Jinks wins stage 1. Curtis Sawyer finishes 2nd. Brent Brown in 3rd. Billy Meadows 4th. And Evan Nugent 5th for your top 5 at the end of the stage there.
So we do need to go in and interview the 7.
Hey, Oliver, are you going to apologize for being a fucking idiot?
You're always going to get that from Joshua Nelson. But yeah, let's see if we can't go and get an interview here.
We'll wait for him to pit, and then we'll just jump down there.
I was blocking running my line.
Or do we want to just...
idea there.
Maybe we just want to go ahead and do it over iRacing radio. I'll let you take control of that.
If I'm correct, that was intentional retaliation that I just heard? Don't know. Maybe. I don't know anyone.
Yeah, let's jump over to their seems like they're doing some stuff there in the iRacing chat, so let's jump into their team chat here.
All right.
So the rule book officially has not come out yet. But if you
Excuse me,
pause-
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Boyd. We're here for an interview with the winner of Stage 1, Brendan Jenks.
Oh.
You got me, Brendan?
Yeah, I got you.
So an interesting first stage. You started on the pole. You've been fast. Lots of wrecks behind you. It's good you've been able to stay out front, but what are you realizing about the racetrack tonight? Do you think there's really any other lane other than the top?
Well, I was able to pass, who is it, Kate, I believe, on the bottom in 3 and 4, so it seems like if you really need to make a move down there, that's possible, but other than that, I think it's mostly going to be the top here tonight.
All right, and we noticed on that original start, you opted to start on the outside line. We weren't sure how that was going to work out, but it worked out for you okay at that point. And then when you restarted from first, you decided to restart from the inside lane. Was there any particular reason for that?
I'm just trying to figure it out here, see what's going to work best for the end of this race, because definitely want to get a win here in the second race of the season.
All right, and one last question before we let you go. Have you seen any other cars out there, do you think, are your biggest competition at this point in the race?
Let's see. I know that Boyd's quick if he can get back up here. Who was it that was just behind me? Whoever was just behind me catching me, was that Curtis? He's definitely fast. Gonna have to watch out for him.
All right, well, thanks for the interview, man. Good luck, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of stage 2.
Yeah, thank you.
87 telling me to let you around.
All right, so we heard it from the stage winner there.
Russell has thrown together a rule book that has not officially come out yet, but under the new rules, it will be if you cause one caution, you will restart at the end of the line. If you cause another, you will be held for 1 lap, and if you cause a third, you will be parked.
Boyd just kind of going over the rules. These don't necessarily apply to this race, but
Hey, Boyd,
they will moving forward.
Correction, guys. There will be a warning issued to the 17. That's the second wreck he's been in, so we're going to issue him a warning for this wreck.
All right, thanks for the clarification, Russell. Looks like Brendan Jenks is going to choose the inside line again here, Kyle, for this next restart.
Yep, seems to be that preferred line. I think we can look through that 42 and that 54 to be some good competition for him for the remainder of this race, like I've said earlier.
No, I think you're right. And another car, Billy Meadows, full disclosure, he is one of the drivers that drives for my team, but I know he's fast in general, but he was showing a lot of speed there at the end of that last run. I think he drove himself up 4 or 5 spots to land himself in 4th, so
yeah,
we'll see what he can do here.
Including a pass on the bottom, so we know that he can make that bottom work. We'll see if that'll aid in his progress to this race.
All right, coming out of turn 4, preparing to go back racing. The end of stage 2 will be on lap 64 as they enter the restart zone, and there goes the 7. He looks like he's going to get a great restart there, Kyle.
Yeah, he does. Doesn't want to let anybody get next to him into turn 1. He wants to make sure he has that lead and get away from as many people as he can.
It's 9 and the 54 side by side. Going down the back straightaway. 9's got the preferred line heading into turn 3 here, though. Let's see if he can get the pass completed.
He's got that 54 kind of in front of him, but that may help him. It looks like it's going to help him quite a bit, though. Actually, maybe some draft effects going on there. Got quite a bit going on in the back of the field.
It looks like Boyd, Cody Whip, and the 52 of Brandon Nelson there. Looks like they're 3 wide coming off turn 2 here.
52 giving plenty of room to those guys.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys who's had to use his fast repair, and he just does not want to get caught up in another accident this early in the race.
And you just get freight trained when you're on the bottom of the track through these corners. Although he's actually gonna hold it pretty good down the straightaway.
Looks like the 9 of Billy Meadows might have just caught the wall in the center of that corner, and he's got a freight train coming underneath him to the inside.
Yep, they're coming. Looks like the 54 fell back quite a bit of positions there since the restart, but he's gonna start to work his way back up, it looks like.
There's some tight racing for 3rd place here.
As the 2 front runners drive away.
Oh, and they touch a little bit.
Oh, he's a little loose. He's going to save it. Oh, the 54 is losing it.
Loose.
Oh, I don't know how they managed to keep themselves together.
Yeah, that's just fantastic driving right there, Kyle.
Bad 9-mile fault, dude.
And there's the apology.
Meanwhile, up at the front, it looks like Rance Brown is starting to run Jenks down. He's pretty close to him now.
Yeah, I'm sure that draft is helping him through the straightaways.
I've been keeping an eye on it. He's been a 1/10 of a second faster than in the last 3 laps here. The question is, where do you make the move?
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah, that's the $1,000,000 question. He's just going to have to wait.
I don't know. So.
Looks like Rance is backing up the entry more than Jenks is. And that's giving him a better run out. He's able to get back to the gas a little bit sooner.
42 ended up putting down a 29.995 lap time that time.
Oh, and Jenks is loose.
Oh.
He's going to save it, but he's going to concede the lead to the 42, maybe just trying to push it a little too hard. Lots of pressure on him there.
So the 42 will... he's...
Oh, and he's in the wall. He almost takes his teammate with him. Billy Meadows is in it.
What the
The
hell
13
was
is in it with Cade Norton. And Joshua Nelson comes and cleans up at the end there.
Yeah, it looks like he entered down low on that corner just a little bit too fast.
Checking up hard on the backstretch, pace car off of turn 2.
So the 42 is going to take the lead.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a lot of damage to Jenks. He is having to tow his car to pit road. It's going to put him at least one lap down. He was pretty close to the pit, so shouldn't be too long of a tow time for him. But yeah, that's going to completely change the outlook of this race, Kyle.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the replay here. Let's see what happens when he goes into turn 3. Or, I think that was turn 3, actually. We need to go back further.
I got too much damage, man.
So here he is. He's in front of the 42 right now.
42 just putting so much pressure on him there in that situation.
This is starting the lap that he ended up getting loose off of 2.
Okay, I better get this rolling.
Rolling good, rolling good.
Well, I'm not going to use my faster car.
Gets loose, mad loose. Saves it. Wants to
Then
keep
he goes
going.
down. He goes down into that next corner, and it's just like the car breaks loose on him.
Oh yeah, he saw it wiggle. And that set up for the big one here at Kansas. Involving 2 other cars. And he kind of gets stuck there. So.
There were 4 cars that ended up in it. Joshua Nelson kind of came in at the end and tagged Brendan Jenks with one last bit of damage.
He was running pretty slow speed, so he shouldn't be too bad. But I guess I'll be between him if he wants to use his fast repair on that one.
Well, hopefully these guys can get it cleaned up. We can get some more green flag racing. Otherwise, we're going to be here for a while, Kyle.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a pretty bad wreck for the 7. He's going to have to work his way back through the field. So we'll see if he can do it. I'm sure he can do it. He's definitely got the speed. But the tempo for him of this race has definitely changed. He's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. He's not going to be so relaxed. But I know that 42 is, like you said, putting pressure on him. So we know what pressure will do to the 7. We'll see if he can keep his cool and keep it off the wall and keep it off the apron, keep it off whatever he needs to keep it off, and work his way back up there.
It looks like Brendan Jenks now, looks like his tow is complete. They're going to go ahead and do the fast repair on that vehicle now, change the tires, and he's heading off pit road. But he is going to be 2 laps down here.
Yep.
So it's going to take some work just to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and it's not a good place to have to take a wave around either, but we've had some short runs, so I think if he kind of goes every other one, he might be okay. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it looks like Billy Meadows has too much damage to continue. He's going to be out of the race here.
Well, at least he gets a spot out of that.
42, you want inside?
10-4.
So Rentz Brown to the lead now, Kyle.
Right.
It's kind of funny. Jinx was telling us that Rentz Brown was the guy to keep an eye on. He was really fast.
Yeah, he definitely is. Definitely was putting the pressure on him. We'll see if he can pull away on his own. I know those 2 were pulling away. The 54 was with him earlier in the race. He's kind of fallen back since, but I think that 42 is going to get a pretty good lead. It's going to be awfully hard for anybody to catch up to him unless they're restarting next to him. Lights are off, though, so we'll be going green this time by.
And I'm feeling pretty good about Brendan Jenks. If he can keep the car clean, I think we'll have another couple of yellows. He'll be able to get back to the lead lap and hopefully get his way back to the front where he should be here.
Cleaning those tires off, getting ready to go.
Got Cody Whip up there in 3rd. I think that's the highest we've seen him so far in this race.
Yeah, I think No, he wasn't. Never mind. I was thinking he was right around Brennan Jinx when he got loose going into 3, but that was one of the Budweiser cars. Forget what team they're on.
That would be 8-Ball Motorsports as we get ready for the green, and we are green. Renz Brown takes off to a comfortable lead on the restart. Cody Whitt's going to try to follow him through to take second here as we get started.
And they're too wide for second.
Cody's hooking the inside line nicely, and I think he's going to have him clear coming off turn 2 here.
There's that 17 looking right behind him. Right on his bumper going into turn 3.
Yeah, they're flirting with disaster there.
That high line is so strong here. I mean...
I just drove right back past him with no problem.
Yeah, they just make it look so easy up there.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I feel like we need to talk more about, Kyle. When you're running the high line all the way up there, I mean, you're right on the edge the whole way around. It's so easy to make a mistake.
Yep. The good news, if you're running up there, if you do get a little loose or something, you don't get quite as much damage. That 51's looking right behind the 17. I don't know where the heck he came from.
I think he restarted 6th on that last restart there, but he's already made his way up to 4th, and looks like he's getting ready to pass Oliver here.
We'll see how patient he wants to be with this one. We know the aggression definitely got him into trouble early, so he may not have any fast repairs left.
No, he definitely does not have any fast repair left, so he's just got what he has here at this point. And I think we will see him try to be a little more conservative, at least for the next handful of laps here until we get to the back half of the race.
Yeah, a little less than 100 to go now. No reason to push the issue too much. Still got a stage in to go.
Now here's a guy we haven't talked about here in a while. The 25 of Evan Nugent. He's got himself up into 2nd place. Last 2 laps, he's been faster than the leader. Not by a whole lot, but by a little bit. Both of those cars behind him, though, Oliver Cordell and Boyd Hogan, both of them are faster than the 25 is. So it looks like, I don't know if the 42 is just trying to manage the gap, try to save some tires, or if these guys here just have a little more speed right now. Looks like Oliver is going to concede 3rd to Boyd here, going ahead and waving him by.
So the patience paid off for the 51 that time. Early in the race. Some little... can't think of the word.
It's a little patience.
That's not the word. Starts with a C.
I can think of a lot of words that start with a C. Not many I'd say on a live broadcast. Looks like the 25 man got loose there.
Yeah, he got into the wall a little bit.
51's taken 2nd from him here.
Making that high line work again. Here comes the 17. Looks like the 17 is going to take his shot to the outside of the 13, it looks like. Or 25, rather.
Yeah, and he's definitely gonna clear him coming off the corner here, no doubt. So earlier we were talking about tires and how big of a difference tires make. These guys are on the 10th lap of this run since they all came and got fresh tires. They are already running about half a second slower than they are on their first lap out.
Yeah, I mean, I was amazed when I went out and ran a lap on the bottom and I tried to go run down there again how much I had to back off the throttle just from 1 lap. And that difference is not nearly as bad up top. It's like that same difference kind of takes about 10 laps. So, you know, it's definitely something that these drivers are going to have to be thinking about. And I'm sure they already have been.
I've just noticed Cade Norton is down on pit road. I'm not sure if he had another incident or not, but I do know that he had a lot of damage when they took that last restart. He may have just seen that the car was just too darn slow. Needed to bring it down and get some repairs.
So 25 and the 54 are kind of racing it out here. 54 got around the 25 underneath of him. The 25 got back underneath the 54. So they're racing it out now through 3 and 4. Switching places.
Yeah, and the 54 is going to get a nice run coming off turn 4 there. Looks like he's going to get him clear. That might settle that for now. Well, they're definitely getting spread out here. This could be good for a nice long green flag run to the end of this stage.
Let's go ahead and check back in on the 7, see what his progress has been here.
All right, man, caution.
As we have a yellow flag on the track.
Nuts.
Looks like the 00 of Cody whip is stopped on the back straightaway here.
Rams clobbers the fence. Holy hell.
Let's go a little bit further back here.
That's my motherfucking race right there. God fucking damn it.
So fast repair run?
I think
Checking out going to turn 3.
7 was actually right behind him.
I'm just taking a look at what happened to Rance Brown, our leader. The yellow flag comes out just about at that time. He gets really loose coming off the exit turn 4 and clobbers the wall.
He kissed the wall, I think. Just a little bit harder than a kiss, maybe, but shouldn't be too bad.
It's definitely going to hurt. The question is, does he have a fast repair remaining?
Or are you talking about the 42?
I'm talking about the 42.
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed the wall right when the yellow flag came out. And actually, pretty good timing for him, probably. That might save his race.
There it is. So I believe, yeah, we will be having a restart before the end of the stage 2.
No, there's no fast repair.
You used it already?
I didn't think I did.
You must have left it clicked.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no, you know what happened? Someone ran me over coming to the pits. That's probably why I used it.
Oh fuck.
Because for some fucking reason people decide that they need to speed up when you need to come to the pits.
Who did that?
Yeah, that one's going to hurt.
I don't know. I need to go look in the replay. Someone just decided that they needed to use me as a goddamn brake, though.
So some driver frustration.
Yeah, I know somebody like
kicking
that.
Yeah, lots of it. And Boyd Hogan there with a little remark when he says, "Yeah, I know that feeling." He's referring to Oliver Cordell.
Earlier, go through the grass.
I know those two have had a little bit of a rivalry.
I don't know if that's the person that hit you or not.
It should be able to fix it up anyway, friends.
That 17 of Oliver Cordell is a very aggressive driver, though, so I'm not surprised.
All I saw was running the line.
For two of
our ramming me in the back and then hitting me in the rear.
Sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
Well, I was letting them talk. For two of our most aggressive drivers in the league, though, to have a rivalry.
It's almost expected, isn't it?
Yep. If it's not there, there's something wrong.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting to see that Oliver pulled over and
to the end of the stage.
Pulled over and let Boyd by earlier there in that run, considering their rivalry. But maybe they're just trying to patch things up.
At least the 17 is. It looks like the 51 of Boyd is going to be taking the lead this time. Maybe he can take advantage of that and get a stage win this time.
And also as a result of that yellow flag, Kyle, Brendan Jinks is now only 1 lap down. So this is playing into his hands, getting back on the lead lap, giving him an opportunity to do something here hopefully soon.
Yeah, he's the only car lap down, so he gets the lucky dog.
Wasn't thinking right.
So that does play into his favor. Just needs to keep the car clean until he's in position to make passes.
Showed up for the race tonight. I apologize, not everyone was organized enough to make it. We should have had about 19 guys, but thanks to everybody who could make it. And next week we're expecting somewhere around 22, 25.
Boy, just thanking guys for coming out here. And we saw the 87 stay out previously and then decide to come back down pit road. But Kenneth McConville, haven't seen much of him so far tonight. He's landed himself in 2nd place for this quick restart here.
Looks like we'll have about 4 to go once they start.
Yep, that'd be 4 to go to the end of stage 2. And I mean, I really think it's Boyd's stage to lose here at this point, starting on the outside. We got the 87 below him, who hasn't shown a ton of speed so far tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is his to lose. 17's not far behind. He's definitely one of the faster guys. But he's starting on the inside there in 3rd, so Not only does he have somebody in his way, he's in that unpreferred lane of that low line.
And Cade Norton's still on pit road, 10 laps down. Looks like his race is pretty much over at this point. So that leaves us down to 10 cars here to finish out the back half of this race. All right, pace cars off. Coming to turn 4. Going to have 4 laps to go to the end of stage number 2. Guys are going to get aggressive, and Boyd takes off, gets a fantastic restart here. I'm actually surprised the 52 got such a bad restart. It seemed like he was just kind of asleep at the wheel there.
Yeah, he's going to lose like 3 positions. Well, I guess technically 2, considering he started 4th. He's way back there.
Yeah, that did not work out well for him. He's just going to have to be better prepared for the next one, no doubt. And it's interesting, we're seeing the 42 here. He's doing everything he can.
He's just weaving through everybody. He doesn't even care. Oh, looks like we got a car.
He wants a little bit of stage points here.
Looked like maybe there was a car up in the wall, but maybe he was just that close to it.
I couldn't tell if the 25 hit the wall or if he just got really close to it. Either way, he should be okay moving forward.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any marks on the wall from him going through, so I think he just got that close.
Definitely got a race for second place here heating up as we get near the end of this stage. And I'm pretty impressed. We're seeing some good speed out of the 87 here. I kind of expected him to fall a little further back. Maybe he just needed some track position.
Well, you might be getting some good speed, but his last lap was about a 10th slower than the leaders, so he's got some work to do.
Yeah, he's definitely about a tenth and a half maybe slower than Boyd that last lap. But surprisingly so is most of the rest of the field. Not sure if some of these guys are thinking about saving their tires and not pitting here at the end of the stage. The 17's going to try sliding up a little bit. Almost got into the 87 there.
We'll be coming to 1 to go this time. And that 51 of Boyd Hogan is just a rocket ship right now. He's just taking off.
Oh, yeah, he's gone. He's gone. There's nobody anywhere near him. I mean, they're just having a great battle here for second, but I'm not even sure he can watch it in its rearview mirror if he wanted to. He's too far out ahead right now.
Yeah, he just took off. We'll see if the 17 wants to try anything. Maybe the 25 or the 54 want to even try to go get an extra position here in this last corner.
Yeah, last corner of the last lap of the stage, and doesn't look like anybody's quite close enough to make it happen.
Nope. Not going to do much. Going to stick to their lines. And that's the end of stage 2.
All right, so it looks like we have 2 teammates who have won both the stages here, but I'm not really sure we've seen anybody prove themselves to be the car to beat at this point. Boyd's definitely fast, but he's got some competition out there.
Yeah, the Bash Brothers is looking strong right now, but we got a couple of free agents. The 42 of Rence Brown, that he's definitely playing a part in this race. He just has to get back up there after getting loose there right when that caution came out.
And here's another thing, Kyle. That caution there for the end of the stage is going to put Brendan Jenks in that 7 car back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to play a factor. He led most of the first half of the race up until getting loose off of turn 2, getting into some mess.
I'll be real interested to see what he can do here once he gets back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's been pretty patient back there. It seems like he doesn't really want to try to pass anybody or anything. He's just trying to wait it out so he can keep a clean car for when he is able to pass for position.
Looks like pit road's open. Let's see who's coming down. Looks like everybody. Boyd pulled the classic NASCAR move, slow him down and then take off real quick to the line on the pit entry there. Give himself a little space to the cars behind him after he lost some of those spots on the previous pit stop.
Is the 14 a lap down right now? I don't think so.
The 14 is on the lead lap.
He's taken the lead, then he doesn't look like he pit that time. Not sure if he's going to change his mind or not, but he will be leading if he doesn't pit this time at the start.
Meanwhile, the rest of the cars coming off pit road looks like they came off the same order they came in. All right, so let's go check in with Boyd Hogan.
Why's everything clicking here? I don't know.
Hey, Boyd, it's Kyle and Rob in the booth. How's it going?
Hey, guys. Not too bad. And yourselves?
We're doing well up there, having a lot of fun watching you, as well as a couple other guys out here. Just seems like nobody can hold the spot for too long. A lot of cars slipping and sliding. Let's go to, I think, the obvious thing to talk about first, which was you lost it coming off turn 2. Yeah. And then you were collected by your teammate Joshua Nelson there. Can you just kind of walk us through those events?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of caught it coming off at 2 there. Early on in the race, I think everybody was kind of washing up and getting the wall, but I got it pretty hard, and I think what happened is we cut down a right front and just plowed the wall, and then, what happens when you get sucked in the wall, you just end up spinning out coming off of it, and just couldn't hold it at that point. Obviously got clobbered by Nelson, had to use a couple fast repairs, but I mean, we're feeling good about it now.
All right, and your buddy Brendan Jenks won the first stage. He's been 2 laps down. He's now got both of his laps back. He's arguably the fastest car here. Are you concerned about your teammate coming up there and battling you for this win?
No, that's everything I want. That's why we brought Brendan in here. As long as one bring it home, or even Nelson somehow manages to squeak one out, we're happy, and that's all that matters.
Do you think?
All right, Boyd.
You think the 42 is going to have anything to say for the end of this race?
Rents.
Yeah.
I think it looked to me like his car's pretty banged up right now. I would have said that our biggest competition is Oliver, but quite honestly, I'm a little too pissed at him to let him be competition after he took my car out. So, no, I think Brendan's our guy to beat, and Curtis is one to watch as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun last 70 laps here.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us, and good luck. Hopefully we're talking to you when the race is over.
Sounds good. You guys have a good night.
So there you have it. Looks like he's going to take the outside lane here for this restart, Kyle.
It also sounds like he's not happy with, who was it? 17 of...
Oliver Cordell.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. If the 17's ever in front of the 51, what could possibly happen?
Yeah, the 17 of Oliver Cordell was being all kinds of nice to him there earlier in the race. Seems like that didn't really change Boyd's opinion.
Yeah, I'm not sure those two feel the same way about each other.
Yeah, I think Boyd might have the bigger grudge at this point.
Yeah.
Then again, anybody who knows Boyd Hogan knows that that's just kind of part of his personality. So it's part of the reason why it's fun to talk to him, fun to race with him.
Oh yeah, fun interviews from that guy.
All right, coming down to turn 4 to get the green flag. We will have 71 laps to go. These guys will have to pit at least one time here before the end of the race, even if it goes green. Let's see what kind of restart we got here. Boyd gets off to a good start. 25 got a pretty decent restart there behind him, but they're going to be side by side, two rows deep there for second and third place.
That 42's there looking right there in 5th. So he's made his way back up as the 00 is actually starting to look underneath of him as well. He's going to file back in line maybe.
Yeah, that 42, it's a shame he's got so much damage because I really think that's going to keep him from being competitive here.
Yeah, he definitely had a real shot at winning this race and being really competitive with the 51 of Boyd.
Oh, and the 7 of Brendan Jenks is going around through the grass. Looks like he saved it off the nose of the 00 Cody Wibb.
It's like really close to what happened there earlier in the race.
I'll tell you, that was a fantastic save.
It was. Anytime you get into the grass, you never really know what's going to happen.
Looks like Oliver Cordell's fallen back to 5th place now. About to lose 6th place to the 54 of Curtis Sawyer. Or, yeah, lose 5th place, rather.
Yeah, that low line just not really working for him. He's got some rear end damage, I just noticed. Not sure how that's affecting him. Spoiler's definitely all bent out of shape.
25 applied a lot of pressure on that 87 of Kenneth McConville. Coming out of turn 2 that time, they almost got together. That last lap around, our top 4 ran almost identical lap times.
Yeah, all within about 100th of a second.
25 to the inside of Kenneth McConville here, looking for 2nd place. He just does not have the run coming off the corner, Kyle.
Yeah, that bottom lane just doesn't help you. If there's a time to do it, it's definitely coming off of turn 4, but it's just not as good as that high line is. I think what really hurts you in the corner is, although you can get down low really well, it's a really shallow entry.
Oh, Kenneth McConville in the wall coming off turn 2. That's going to lose him a ton of positions.
I was actually looking at him, but I didn't see it. Oh well.
Yeah, he didn't catch it too bad, just enough to slow the car down.
But like I was saying, that high line going into turn 3 is very shallow compared to turn 1. Turn 1 seems a lot sharper, so you can carry a lot more speed into the corner. And so it's really just an advantage both ways. Let's go check back in on our leader, see how he's doing.
Yeah, Kyle, why don't we dial up an in-car camera on the leader and kind of see how he's approaching these corners.
All right, we will check out that gyro cam. You can really hear him working that throttle. Those tires are getting eaten up.
Yeah, you can hear the tire wear as well. See what he does down here into turn 3. He's taking it a little lower. He's not backing the corner up at all. Seems like he's running it pretty hard, even though he's out in front here with a decent lead. But nice steady wheel. Car seems to be handling well.
Oh God, it's Oliver again.
I'm just surprised to see him running that low on the track, but he'll get closer to the wall as the run goes on.
Well, he did that time. He had his right sides up above that last seam.
Yeah, lots of throttle control in the middle of 3-4, like you were saying, with that more shallow entry.
Got a good view of his gearbox off the rear bumper. Looks like cut a little bit of grass that time.
Yeah, he currently has a 1.3 second lead over the 25 of Evan Nugent. Looks like he's settled in pretty well in 2nd here. 3rd place right now, Rents Brown, 1.8 seconds back from the leader. He has the 54 of Curtis Sawyer right behind him, trying to take the 3rd position away. A nice rebound after almost wrecking there. Brendan Jenks has fought his way back to the 6th position already. He's getting ready to pass Oliver Cordell.
Yeah, Oliver's got that damage, so it's probably going to make it semi-easy for the 7 to get around him, but that 17's been competition with him all practice as well, leading up to this race on terms of speed, so just depends on how much that damage slows him down. He's definitely gaining on him, though. He looks like he got a little loose. Oh, there's the yellow flag.
The 42's gone around here.
Down there on pit road now.
Checking up 2. It's a good run there, Evan.
You know, it would actually be nice to get a long green flag run for one.
Wow.
Looks like
He just got loose.
Just got loose all by himself.
Looked like that was the 54 behind him. Just barely was able to get slowed down enough to not get into him more.
Yeah, that was great wreck avoidance there by Curtis Sawyer. I mean, he was practically in it, and he was able to avoid it. And also a nice job by the 42 of keeping it out of the inside wall. I mean, he was pretty close to hitting the inside wall there in the pits.
Yeah, you never want to hit a wall. Hitting those walls are what's going to ruin your race. He's already got some damage, so he doesn't want any more.
Yeah, no doubt. As the field comes down pit road here.
Need to go live. There we go.
Looks like Joshua Nelson's going to stay out here, but last time he did that, I think he brought it down pit road a lap later.
Yeah,
maybe there's some kind of a strategy there that he's taken just to stay away from those guys.
Yeah, it might.
Looks like Boyd overcooked the pit stall there. He had to put it in reverse and back up. Let's see if that's going to lose him the lead coming off pit road. Here comes the 25 is definitely going to beat him out, and so is the 54. Yeah, those are the types of mistakes that you just can't have.
He just barely went over. He didn't actually leave his box, but you know how these things can be. They just need you to be in a specific spot. So it looks like he's going to come out 4th then. Lose 3 spots.
Yeah, assuming Nelson doesn't pit, he'll be in 4th place there, which it all depends on where the leader lines up, how good of a run you can get on these restarts.
And his teammate in the 7 car, Brendan Jinks, is now behind him. And the 51 has actually led just 2 more laps now than the 7 car for the most laps led. He's led 29 laps after that run.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Brendan Jinks picked up so many positions, but he's going to, well, I guess he only picked up 2. He's going to go from 7.
I don't think it's that he picked up spots. I think it's that the 51 lost spots.
It does look like Nelson's going to stay out here on 14 lap old tires, and 14 laps on those tires in that last run. And you know, to be honest, Kyle, we haven't seen a ton of speed out of that 14 car. It's a little concerning to me here on this restart.
Yeah, anybody there behind him, whichever lane he starts at, is going to have to keep an eye open about that. Be aware.
Now, once they got settled into the longer run, I had noticed that Boyd was still putting down great lap times, but Brendan Jinks was running the same lap times he was, and so was the 25 of Evan Nugent. You know, they were all pretty even. I think those are your big 3 as we move forward to see which one of them can best position themselves for the end of the race.
It's good to know that we got 3 or 4 guys that are out there that are able to compete for the win, so we don't just have one guy dominate. Although the one guy dominating has pretty much been out front, and the other 2 have been elsewhere, and that 14 is actually going to come down pit road now.
Yeah, he may just be trying to add to his lap sled column.
He could be.
Not sure why, but you know, and talking about the 25, the 51, and the 7, I don't want to disrespect the number 54, Curtis Sawyer. He's been solid all race, and you know, he could very well end up winning this race. I just can't help but feel like he's just a tick slower than those other 3 guys.
Especially on that long run. That's where it'll kill you.
Well, Kyle, we've seen a lot of guys getting loose on their own and spinning out. I don't think we're done with that, but you know, you and I both drove a lot of laps. What do you think is causing that looseness? Is it just when the tires get hot on the longer run?
I don't know. I didn't actually have any problems with it this previous practice session, but I have had problems with it in other practice sessions. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. It must have something to do with just kind of the track temperature. That's all I can really think. But, I mean, I didn't have any problems with it at all this practice session before this race. So I guess that's just something we kind of need to look at.
All right, pace car's off. Going to have 57 to go at the line. We have the 54, Curtis Sawyer, in the lead, and he is gone. Great restart for him. Boyd's going to get a nice restart behind him. Try to follow him through for 2nd place on this restart. And see if Evan can hold nice and tight to Boyd on the outside.
And 51's looking there to the inside of the 54 now.
Yeah, that inside line through 1 and 2 is the place to be on those restarts. There's no doubt about it. As Boyd's going to take a look for the lead, he's going to dive it down hard all the way to the white line. Not quite going to have the run off the corner. Evan Nugent behind him touches the wall just a little bit, but continues going. Boyd still to the inside. He's going to try to dive it down to the inside again here in 1 and 2.
Well, he didn't have much of a choice. He was still next to him, so unless he wanted to just give up that position completely. Oh, he's coming off the corner pretty... Looked like it got real tight there for a second.
That's right, Curtis.
Yeah, it did. You know, and that's So that happens when you hammer down on the gas from that bottom lane. That wall comes up real quick, and especially if you've got a car on the outside of you, it makes it very difficult to get back to the gas.
Yeah, you don't want to end up getting up into him.
Boyd's continuing to put the pressure on him here, though. Looks like he's going to follow along with him here in the outside lane through 1 and 2.
We saw earlier in the race what happened with the 42 put pressure on the 7. So I think you can definitely put pressure on a guy and expect them to make a mistake from it, at least eventually. It's just a matter of how patient you're willing to be.
The 7 of Brendan Jenks and the 17 of Oliver Cordell have gotten past the 25 of Evan Nugent now. They're now running 3rd and 4th on the racetrack.
'17's holding that low line really good right now.
Yeah, it seems to be working out for him here early in the run. The 25 is going to get back past him, though.
Yeah,
but Boyd's putting a lot of pressure on Curtis Sawyer. He's going to try to get to the inside of him here, coming off of 4. Side by side down the front straightaway. Let's see if Boyd can actually complete the pass there on the inside line, though, in 1 and 2. Very difficult to do. Doesn't look like it. 54 is going to be able to hold him off for now.
He's showing that impatience that he has right now. Really wants to get by that 54 and start pulling away. If he uses up his tires too much, I don't think he's going to, though.
And they're coming up on the lapped car here, Joshua Nelson. Looks like he's just going to try to stay out of the way here. Doesn't want to interfere with the race up front. Maybe get a good angle on the race for the lead there with his teammate Boyd Hogan.
Ooh, he gets real good entry there on the 54. Gains a lot.
It looks like he's going to end up in a similar position where he's got that run coming off the corner, but you just can't pass on the inside here. It's just not going to happen. He's going to have to try to find a way to get to the outside of him. Either that or he's going to have to do something really aggressive.
Yeah, that 54 is not going to go for a block there if he goes on the inside. He knows how good that outside line is, and he can hold it, so he has no reason to try to block him.
Coming to line this time, we will have 50 laps to go, Kyle. We've been through 90 laps this race, 50 laps to go. I think these guys are pretty comfortable with what they've got at this point. It looks like these are the two guys to really worry about as long as we stay green. I don't see anybody else really running them down.
Yeah, I think the 54 heard you though during the before this restart. You know, you're talking about those big 3. He's like, nah, we got 4. I'm here now.
Yeah, clearly he's shown me wrong. He's definitely racy.
I mean, I think it's fair to say he's holding up Boyd, but it's just not enough.
That's a big part of racing. You know, I mean, the amount of skill it takes to have a guy breathing down your neck like that, lap after lap after lap, and just keep hitting your line.
Yeah.
You know, the guy obviously has a lot of composure, and it's working out well for him. But we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, I was talking to Boyd last night, and he said, yeah, if I got to give a guy a bumper to get past him because I can't get past him in a few laps, then I'll do it. Is he willing to do that for the lead with 50 laps to go?
I don't know if he necessarily wants to do it with 50 to go, but, 10 to go, he might go for it.
I think giving a guy a bumper when you're running up next to the wall like that's a pretty bad idea to begin with, Kyle. I mean, if you get them a little loose, they catch the wall, and they're dead stumped in front of you, and you have nowhere to go. You're going to end up in it.
Yeah, you don't really have anywhere to go in there. He's actually looking to the inside now, but yeah, you don't have anywhere to go. If you try to move somebody up there, there's nowhere for him to move to.
I'll tell you, this is a hell of a race here. Boyd is definitely faster, but he just can't get by him. Curtis is doing a fantastic job of holding him back here.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time there trying to make a run on the bottom. Went from being on his bumper to a couple car lengths just from one corner. That 54 can't get much closer to the wall than he is, though.
Oh, yeah, he's a paper's width away, man.
trying just to run a little bit lower than the 54 is. Maybe he can get some...
Oh, 54 really loose coming off of 4 there. That's going to give Boyd the opportunity. He needs to try to get to the outside, but it's not quite going to happen.
Just doesn't have it. Back on
I think
his bumper,
at this
though.
point, especially after the 54 got loose there, Boyd's getting impatient now.
Oh, he's looking to the inside, or did he just get loose?
I think he thought about it and then realized he didn't have the run.
He's not given any room for those bumpers, though, that's for sure. He might have to start worrying about his engine overheating, I think, at this point.
Yeah, it's almost like you're running Talladega, man. Just bump them all the way around. They haven't really had any run-ins yet, but there's a big run for Boyd coming off of turn 2. I don't think it's enough to get the pass done on the inside here in 3 and 4, though.
It never really is. Get about next to him, and then they just get a really good run off the corner after that.
Yeah, I think if you can be, even wheel to wheel with them heading in the corner, and you drive it in real deep and attempt a slide job, you might be able to make that happen, but you're probably going to get crossed over.
Yeah, you have to do a real subtle slide job. You don't want to just fly all the way back up to the top. You lose too much momentum from that.
Obviously, we're not going to take the camera off this incredible race for the lead here, but just a little update further back in the pack. Kenneth McConville's made his way into 3rd, passing Brendan Jenks and Evan Nugent. So he's definitely on the move here now. Curtis Sawyer and Boyd Hogan have opened up a 4-second lead on the rest of the field, Kyle.
I didn't notice that. That's amazing. They're kind of drafting each other, though, kind of...
Yeah, the flag is out.
We have a caution.
25 of Evan Nugent, and it looks like maybe the 42 of Rentz on the back straightaway there. Not sure what happened.
We're going to take a look at it here. It looks like the 87 gets in the wall, 25 gets into the wall. Oh, he ended up going on the apron, and then the 42 just had nowhere to go as the 25 really gets into the wall coming back across the track.
Yeah, 87 got in the wall, the 25. And, we saw something like this in our practice race that we broadcast, Kyle. Sometimes when a guy gets up in the wall, the guy behind him gauges his entry point and how hard he's driving on the guy in front of him and just follows him into the fence. And looks like that may have been what happened there.
Yeah, pretty much. I know I do that a lot. But it looks like, you get sucked up into that wall and you're trying to get it off.
It amazes me how much harder you guys can run, and yet I'm the one whose tires get wore out.
But sometimes just letting it ride along that wall usually ends up better for you.
Oh, I was a little worn out, too.
Yeah, you try to get it up off that wall, you put so much wheel input in the car in order to get it out of the wall. And then as soon as you get off the wall, you're dead loose, dead sideways.
He actually got loose from getting onto the apron. I don't know if he was trying to get down on the apron, just get out of the way. But that transition from the track to the apron was not healthy for that car, and it just got him turned him dead right. So
Brendan Jenks missed the pit stall a little bit there. He had to put it in reverse and back up.
He had fallen back a couple positions during that run.
Looks like the 54, well, I think he won the race off pit road there.
Yeah, just by a little bit.
Oh, man, that fucking sucks. Who took you out there? What happened?
25 got loose and decided to correct it. Hey, Rentz, come back for the crash to pass. Or actually, you know what? Go call the race with Kyle and Rob. Please. I want to see how that would turn out.
I'll have to bring him.
All I know is that 25 got loose and Earnhardted it back into the outside wall of cars.
Ouch.
If he wants to come in here, we'll have to bring him in here.
The more the merrier.
Evan, did you break it through? What? Kyle and Rob, let Rentz up in the booth.
Alright, I will get him up here.
I just want to take a moment and let everybody know that UPS has the best freight shipping available, and next time you go to the post office, leave the post office and go to UPS.
UPS, they send it. sponsorship plugs. I'm just over here drinking my Diet Coke. It ain't too bad. Give it a shot.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's pretty good.
You there,
Got
Rents?
different flavors too.
Yeah, I like that mango one.
Oh, cherry all the way.
We got a couple of teammates sparring over which one of their Diet Coke flavors is the best.
Yeah.
I gotta
Hey,
say,
y'all,
the mango one's pretty gross, Kyle.
Park another car in front of me. Just make sure I get in it. That way I can leave the race and go call it.
I guess if you can talk about your sponsors during the race, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's normally a good sign. It looks like Rents isn't available, but Russell, you got us?
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Well, while we got a second, and I know you're kind of hanging around, just kind of wondering what your thoughts are on the race so far.
Yeah, that just got
It's a lot of hard racing, man. I think Boyd and Curtis are gonna have a chance to run this one out right here. Boyd's a lot faster, but Curtis he's ice smooth, man. He's ice cold when it comes to that situation. I've raced with him for a long time, man, about 5 years now, and he's just he's got nerves of steel when it comes down to the last last part of the race like that, and keeping somebody behind you, man. That's exactly what you guys said.
I appreciate the input there, Russell. Anything you've seen from a race control point of view here at this point?
Right now, I'm attempting to give the 25 car a warning for snapping his car back into the track like that. Evidently, he was down on the racing off the racing surface and overcorrected. We got to keep cars from coming back up the track like that and ended Rentz's night there.
All right, I appreciate the input. All right, when we get green, we will have 37 laps to go. We have the 54 of Curtis Sawyer on the inside line here, the 51 of Boyd Hogan on the outside with his teammate Brendan Jensen fourth behind him. Cody Whips made his way up to third. Here's the restart. 54 gets a pretty fantastic restart on the 51 of Boyd Hogan here, and that's going to bode pretty well for him. We saw how difficult it was to pass Kyle, and if he gets a little bit of a gap here, he might be looking pretty for the end of this race.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't the restart that Boyd was looking for.
Boyd prides himself on restarts, and that's not at all what he was looking for. You're right, Kyle.
I do have to say, I think Cherry Coke is my favorite Coke flavor.
I would have to agree with you. No doubt. Boyd gets clear of the 00 Cody Whip, and now he's got his eyes firmly set on the 54 of Curtis Sawyer there in the lead. Let's see if he can run him down.
Goes straight to that high line, though, as soon as he can. Doesn't want anything less. I know Boyd, he loves that high line everywhere.
He's a lot like Kyle Larson. Give him a racetrack where the dominant line's the top line, and he's going to rise to the top.
I think if you could make the high line I guess we'll call it the high line, but if you could make the wall work at Martinsville, he certainly would be against the wall at Martinsville.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, he'd definitely try it. You're about a 1/10 of a second faster than Curtis there on that last lap.
Yeah, he gained quite a bit there in just 1 or 2 laps.
We now see that Russell Keats, our race control man there, he has officially given the warning to the 25 of Evan Nugent to keep the car on the apron. All right, Kyle, so pretty much as expected here, Boyd's been able to run him down, but can he pass him?
I don't think he's going to be able to just pass him. He's going to have to do something himself very offensively to get by him. He's getting really close to his bumper here, coming off of turn 4.
He's all over him here.
Take a look at his nose cam here as he gets right up on his bumper.
It doesn't get much closer than that without touching the guy.
Ooh. All I see is rear suspension. Oh, he's looking to the inside that time.
He's going to have a good run. He's going to have a good run down the front straightaway. This is going to put him pretty even as they head to 1 and 2. Can he make the inside line work when he's that far up on the 54?
Just not enough.
No, there just isn't enough down there.
Man, that high line is just proving to be so dominant here.
We expected that coming in, but I can, just speaking for myself here, Kyle, I expected the inside line to have a chance late in the run when everyone's out of the gas, you know, regardless, but it looks like it's just the high line or die at this point.
Yeah, there's no going back if you go low. I mean, he holds with him, and then he even gets a little bit better into the corner, taking that high line. He goes low and he just loses, 2 or 3 car lengths on him.
Well, every time Boyd cuts it down lower, coming out of the corner like that, he's eating the tires more than Curtis is, and that could affect him in the longer run.
It certainly could. That's definitely something to watch as we get through this run. If we go all the way to checkered for this green flag run.
Hey Oliver, there's a wall up there, buddy.
Sounds like the 17 got into the wall.
Boyd tries the inside again, but just doesn't have it. 54 is going to go ahead and stretch it out a little bit.
Previous laps, just over 30 seconds, so they've already fallen off almost a second.
Yeah, about 7/10, Kyle. I mean, the tire fall off is ridiculous. Here about 13 laps into the run, we got 28 laps to go. If this stays green, these guys are going to be on tires that are much older than they've run on all night.
Yeah, those cautions definitely weren't helping them learn about the track under long runs. So we'll be getting into new territory if we take this one all the way to the checkered.
I really think if Boyd cannot get past Curtis here, that Curtis is going to have the car on the long run. I mean, Boyd is eating his tires alive right now. He's diving it down into the corner harder. He's cutting it, to the inside, a little more to the inside than Curtis is on that on corner exit. I think he's sitting in a pretty good position here if he can just keep Boyd behind him for another 5 or 10 laps.
Yeah, he's doing such a good job of just doing what he wants to do and kind of just controlling what the 51 does, and that's pretty much going to win you the race most times.
While we're looking at the lead, we'll run through the rest of the running order real quick. Got Cody Whipp there in 3rd, Kenneth McConville right behind him, very similar to the battle we're seeing between the leaders. And then Oliver Cordell is in 5th. Nice rebound after he had a couple incidents early. Then Brandon Nelson 6th, Brendan Jenks in 7th. I'm really surprised we haven't seen Brendan get up here and compete. The 54 gets really loose.
He just had a moment. We just had an apology there, so I wonder.
Did Boyd get into him?
Let's go back a little bit here.
Probably get back to me.
See what we got here. See if we can get a good view of maybe he got into him a little bit, or if he actually just got loose on his own.
He got loose on his own, but Boyd definitely ran into him while he was loose there.
Well, he got slowed down from getting loose, and Boyd was just there.
They're wrecking on the front straightaway here. We got the 00. Cody Whipp involved. Looks like they're keeping it straight. Looks like we're going to continue green flag racing here.
We got pretty loose there. But yeah, he did a pretty good job of keeping it off the track.
Ridiculous.
So we'll see if the 51 will pull away from the 54 now that he's in front of him. Or if the 54's patience will get him back up to him.
Well, we've seen it now from Boyd and from Curtis, as well as a number of other drivers getting loose on that corner exit. And we are approaching the time when we are on the oldest tires we've been on all night long. You know, Boyd went around earlier. Is he going to go around again?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go around again, that's for sure.
And taking a look at the steering wheel input here, I mean, Boyd's definitely fighting loose coming off the corners here. While they're spread out for the lead, looks like we got a good battle for third. The 87 of Kenneth McConville and the 17 of Oliver Cordell. Looks like that's heating up a bit. It's nice to see that Evan Nugent's able to get back out on the track as well, Kyle. I know not the night he was looking forward to, but
yeah,
looks like he was able to get the car repaired.
It'll help him at least to run some laps. Looks like he's pretty much passed everyone that he can right now. The only next car ahead of him is 2 laps down.
Yellow does come out inside of 5 to go. The race is official.
That's Joshua Nelson. So 17 looks inside of the 87 now.
Looks like, well, for a second I thought he might get it done, but the 87's going to be able to hold it. The 17's sideways down there.
He saves it. Oh, there's some smoke
save
down there. Did somebody else get loose?
Caution is out. Caution is out.
I think that was Curtis. I think Curtis lost it off too. Yeah, Curtis Sawyer lost it off turn 2 there.
I'm in the scenic view now for some reason. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
See if we can see what happened.
And, oh, man, he almost kept it out of the wall, too.
Oh, he tried to save that getting loose off the corner again. Pretty big impact there on the inside wall.
Yeah, that's going to end his night since he's already used his fast repair.
So things are looking pretty good for the 51 of Boyd now as they go down pit road.
Yeah, and right before that contact happened between Boyd and Curtis, I was looking at the 7 of Brendan Jenks, and I'm just really surprised he hasn't made his way back to the front, Kyle.
Yeah, he got back in that dirty air, I guess, and it's just been struggling to get through it. You know, when he was leading, he pretty much could just sit up there on the high line, and now he's got to pass people on the low line. It's just not working out for him.
And something to keep an eye on here. I know most of these guys have damage, but the 51 does have damage on the nose.
And it's manageable.
Yeah, he, from getting into the 54 there when he got loose the first time.
I'm aware I'm the slowest guy in the field, and yet I'm the one that's breaking traction 10 laps into a run.
I think these guys just got a lot of practice. I think there's a lot of little things that we're not doing that some of the other guys are doing that's probably saving them.
If anyone wants to run me up to the booth, I can do it. Just reset my my mic.
Who said that?
That was Rents.
Let him in the booth there,
Okay.
Kyle and Rob.
How you doing, Rents?
Going good. Really fast. Really nice pit stop.
Looks like he's muted at the moment.
At least in Discord.
I'm muted inside the booth. Do I need to have special privileges for that or something?
Oh, you know what? Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I'll message Kyle right now. What'd you say, Kenneth?
I thought I was going to be able to this shot.
I might need to do something here. Or let me...
I don't know if you know.
There we go.
My guys are always in a hurry.
Oh, he's
I
good?
got it, Kyle.
Tuxedo
All
off
right.
the road.
I was-
Well, Rents, welcome.
What's going on? Oh,
Just watching an interesting race. You were having a hell of a run there. One of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car, and it slipped away from you.
Yeah, out of 4, it just got really loose, and that was really the first time we went that deep into our run to really understand what was happening. And the caution came in, and it spooked me a little bit when the crew chief got on the radio and said caution, and I just kind of slipped up the track and into the wall. The fast repair I had was used up because someone just nailed me in the back going into the pits like 2 cautions before that. So it's whatever. I mean, really fast car, really fast day with our Camaro, but just wasn't meant to be today, I guess.
Well, after all that, we're glad that you're joining us up here, though.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun. I'll tell you what, though, it's gonna be a short run to the end, but watch for the right rear tires to really wear off on these cars. They're getting really loose. The longer we go into a run, right around like 7 or 8 laps, the rear tires will start to go. And off of 4 specifically is really bad because you're still turning off of turn 4.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that already.
Yeah, a lot of guys getting loose.
It's been a majority of the cautions is somebody getting loose off a corner.
Yeah, it's the guys that are really good at it will just be the guys that can roll out early and let the car plant and just roll back into it gently. Right before I had my second incident there at the end, which kind of finished me off, I was just starting to learn that back out the throttle, tap the brake a little bit to get that car to rotate. And if you can rotate like that, then you'll be good. And I think Boyd's probably the best car out here now. I probably could have contended against him earlier on, but I don't think anyone's going to have much for him. Pretty clean cars, so as long as he can keep the fenders on it and keep it up against the wall, I don't see any contention.
I agree with you, and Kyle and I were talking about it a minute ago. You know, Boyd lost it coming off a corner early in the race all by himself. It very well happened again. Obviously, I hope that doesn't happen to him, but something to keep an eye on. Nothing's ever won until the checkered flag flies, but getting the green flag back out here with 15 laps to go. Boyd's going to get a fantastic restart on the 87 to Kenneth McConville, and you got to imagine he's just going to set sail from here.
Yeah, this is pretty much looking to be a all Boyd race at this point.
Looks like the 7 of Brendan Jenks gets by the 52 there, actually. Oliver Cordell's made his way back to 3rd, even with the damage that he has. There's a little drama about that earlier, Renz. Did you see anything from Oliver?
I couldn't really see much. I heard a little bit from chatter. I guess he did something. I mean, his rear end is destroyed, so I guess he did something sometimes. So people were definitely chatting about that. Looks like the 7 of Brendan Jenks went up and got that 3rd place position. And guys, the nice thing about how this race goes in the beginning is if you can get that high line to really work and get up there, I don't think you even can at the safe up in 2nd, because I was able to run people down on the high line to begin a run. All you got to do is wait for that mistake, and maybe that's what happened to Oliver a little earlier on.
Yeah, I know Brendan Jenks is finally showing the speed that he had at the beginning of the race before his incident. I think if he can get by Kenneth McConville here, he might still have a chance to get the Boyd. At the very least, if we get a yellow, he'll have a chance to get to him.
Yeah, he's definitely caught up to him this time.
Yeah, I mean, Brennan's running a 68 to, I think, Boyd's 52. See this last lap, 81. So, yeah, he's all over the back bumper going into turn 1 here, guys. And he got him! He got him!
He absolutely turned him. And he's going to catch the wall a little bit there.
Damn it.
Everyone else able to avoid the incident.
That's just closing rates.
That's going to set us up for a really interesting last 5 or 6 laps here.
Things are heating up on the track, I'd say.
Guys, if y'all go back and watch it, I do believe you'll see a net code there. The 87 one just got loose. 7 never touched him.
I think he got loose going into the corner before the 7 even got to him, because he was up against the safer barrier way before that. So what I think happened is he went, and this happened to me earlier, if you go wide into the corner, you're going to hit that wall.
Yeah, he caught the wall.
And then it unloaded when he came into the corner. And I think that's what turned him. I don't think the 7, there was no contact with the 7.
You're 100% right, Renz. He caught the wall going in the corner, and like you said, the car kind of it kind of loads down into the ground, and then when you get off the wall, when it unloads, it kicks the car sideways. And yeah, I don't think the 7 had nothing to do with that at all.
Great wreck avoidance though by the 7 though. I mean, he very easily could have been involved in that, so that actually saves his chance at possibly. I mean, it's a Diet Coke 1-2 it looks like. So if anyone's got anything left for those two drivers, they're gonna have to show it now, I guess.
We'll probably get a restart with 7 laps to go here. They just ran 8 laps on those tires under green. Any chance anybody tries to gamble and take 2?
You know, 4 tires mean the world here. It really does. I just feel with even with 3-4 laps on the run on the tires, the right rear is going to get heated up a lot more than people think. And if the right rear gets heated up, you're just going to lose grip off the corner. And I think it's a lot safer to go with 4 than to try to gamble and spin it off the corner and possibly collect the whole field.
And that's going to answer our question there. Everybody takes 4.
Doesn't look too bad. I mean, the double zero is also up there. Cody was running me down there before I had that second incident. He's been showing his pace a little lately too, so I say don't count him out. Doesn't look like he's got much damage to his Harley-Davidson machine.
Yeah, he wasn't having the best time there at the beginning, but it seems like as the race has gone on, he's really picked up a lot of speed. I don't know if that's just a lack of practice, maybe, or what's going on there, but he's definitely a lot stronger now than he was at the beginning of the race, and I agree, Rents, he might be something to keep an eye out for.
The first 2 laps, or really the first lap of the run, you can run wide open. If you're the leader or second place, you can probably get away with wide open. Anyone behind him, you're just going to get really arrow sensitive behind the guy in front of you. But I look to see the 51 probably going a little bit early, trying to catch them off guard, and hopefully the 7 can follow suit for him to have that team go 1-2. That's probably the goal right there. But I honestly think that the 17's going to be really loose off corner, especially with the damage to the rear end. But I think the double zero might be able to finish 3rd. All he's got to do is just time that run properly, and I think you might be looking at the double zero finishing up there in the podium position.
We do not race back to the checkered if the yellow comes out. Just a reminder.
And by the way, guys, I think this might be the final restart of the race, because I don't know when we're going to fall back into line here, but if we do get another caution, I believe that will end this race.
I think you're right, Rents.
I think we'll be going green next time, so there's a possibility to just have 1 lap of green if there's an immediate caution, but if they make it 1 lap, then it'll probably be the end. Maybe 2 laps. Lights should go off this time.
It's all gonna hinge on this restart. If Boy can get a nice jump on the restart, he's gone.
I'm pretty confident that he's gonna get a really good restart. Just a matter of that 7 can keep up with him.
Well, if I'm the 7, what I do on this restart is Boyd's going to take the top. That's crucial. If I'm the 7 on this start, what I do is I get right up on his door right before he takes the green, and you run him as high up the racetrack and 1 as possible. If this were me, I try to run up just out of the groove enough, because the bottom and 1 is where you want to be. No. And if you can just clear him off turn 2, you might be able to hold him off, because then Boyd's going to be in dirty air, and he's going to have to try to pass you on the bottom. And we all know how powerful that the top groove has been. So if I'm the 7, I'm right on that door as we get up through the gears going into turn 1.
Yeah, and I don't understand the decision to take the top on the restart. I don't understand that at all. The top just doesn't have it through 1 and 2 on that restart. I mean, he's given Brendan Jenks every opportunity he could want here.
But at the same time, if you're the second place guy in the bottom, you can't see the lead car go. It's out of it's in your blind spot. As the pace car pulls off, guys, green flag.
7 laps to go at the line, and Boyd does get a good restart here. It's not going to matter which lane he chose. Like you said there, Rance, here comes the double zero. Trying, looking anywhere to go here on the 7.
Ooh, he threw a big block. Big block in turn 2 right there. The 7's trying to hold off the double zero, and I think the double zero, if he can get back up to the top, might have a shot at second place. And guys, that's exactly what Boyd wanted to do. Boyd got that 7 to where he couldn't see him in his peripheral and just left him, because you really have to guess if you're the second place driver. And it looks like the double zero is closing in on the 7. Kyle, right now, it looks like it's Boyd's race to lose.
It's pretty much been like that for the last half of this race. It's pretty much been all Boyd ever since the 54 spun out of his way.
I'll tell you what, though, the 7's not fading, though. He's holding pretty close to him here.
We'll check out their previous lap once they go across the line this time.
What the 7 needs to do, is he needs to back up that entry just a little bit. And if he can just get just a little bit higher up out of the groove, I think he might be able to get a nice run out. Boyd isn't bulletproof when it comes to these short runs. I was able to hold him off for a little bit. But if you can just get him early on, if you can just get back to the throttle, hit the brake a little bit, let the car plant and then go again, he might have a shot to go run him down.
The 7 was a tenth and a half slower that last lap. So Boyd's definitely putting down some faster laps at early stages here.
Looks like the 7's got right front damage, so that might be hurting him just a little bit.
Yeah, Boyd's got a little damage on the nose of his car as well, too, Rents, and I feel like the damage on these cars is relatively minimal and pretty even between the two.
Oh, here comes the 17 for third. 17's all over the 00 for third here, guys. So final step on the podium, heating up. That black 17 has come to life off turn 4.
He's going to try to take it to the inside. They're going to be pretty even as they head towards turn 1 and 2. The question is whether or not he can actually get the pass done on the inside. Oh, he's drifted it up a little bit.
The 00 was trying to hold him down there.
The thing he's got to have to do is, one of the big things with a one groove racetrack is if you're on the bottom groove and you need to go somewhere, what I'd do is I'd almost run it wide open just a little bit longer, see if you can clear him and slide job him. If you can, he's going to push off turn 4 again. This is some good racing for third here, guys.
And Cody's not giving him any space at all to come up off the corner. You know, he's just making sure he pins him down there. So far, it's working out for him. 2 laps to go.
He's actually going to take the position. He's actually going to go really low. That's going to give him a moment. I think he's going to rethink that decision next time.
Yeah, he's trying to break the draft a little bit. You wouldn't think of Kansas being a big draft track. But it really is if you think about it with how much pull you get off the corner. The 17's coming back at it again.
This time.
White
he's
flag.
He's going to get him this time. And he clears him.
He had an excellent run that time. I think if he gets in front of him this time, we'll see if the 00 does anything about it. He's going to look to the inside.
Too low. He's going to wash up. He's going to get tight off the corner. He's not going to be able to do it.
Meanwhile, up at the front, Boyd's going into turn 3 with the lead. No pressure from Brendan Jenks out back, and it looks like he's going to bring it home for the win.
That 00 just doesn't have anything for the 17.
And Boyd Hogan will win the race.
For not hitting the wall on an actual run. He made it a whole 5 laps without hitting the wall for one.
Wow, what a race right there.
Hey, you want to shut up just a little bit?
Looks like we got a little drama now.
Yeah, in the whole race.
What a race. And then on top of it, if you had any hard feelings, we're going to Martinsville next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
we were
yeah,
talking
that's going
about
to be
that
exciting.
last night. You know, running a race like this, everyone gets a little angry, and what better place to get everything figured out than Martinsville?
I'm so glad this race is over.
You know what? I got to give a tip of the hat to Oliver Cordell, because that car shouldn't even be finishing in the top 5 with how much damage he has. That unbelievable drive, perfect timing off turn 4 as he's going to give the 51 a shove down on the front stretch, but he timed that last lap perfectly. He got right on that left rear quarter panel, was able to just kind of drive away when the 00 looked like he might have been able to hold him off.
Looks like the 14 wants to celebrate with his teammate.
Delivering that win, the UPS card, making sure that burnout is delivered.
Yeah, I don't understand how I could be letting off and letting the car roll through the center while you guys are running.
Man, I really wish I could have fought that 51, though. That would have been a nice fight, but the season's young. Martinsville's going to be real exciting. It's just going to come down to Martinsville's going to be fun because it's going to come down to the same thing we have here, which will be rear grip. And I think that's the big thing that I think a lot of guys got caught out with today was rear grip. Myself included. And I think when we go to Martinsville, it's going to be rear grip off the corner with the low speeds compared to the high speeds we have here.
Yeah, and we saw in our practice race at Martinsville, a lot of guys really having difficulty with figuring out when to back up that corner. A lot of guys cooking it in too hard. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of practice between now and when the race happens, but I do anticipate that it's definitely going to be an entertaining race as Boyd blows his engine on the front straightaway.
Now he decides to have engine issues. Okay.
I know as a fellow competitor, you might have been okay with that happening a little earlier in the race.
I would have been okay with that happening about 100 laps sooner. Because I pushed the car as hard as I could because I saw Boyd coming, but he's a monster. I know there was a question asked earlier in the week about who the championship favorite is going to be, and I honestly think Boyd's the guy that we have to look at. He's solid every week. He's consistent, and if anyone's going to have a shot at the championship, I honestly think he's going to have it as long as bad luck doesn't nip him in the bud.
Well, speaking of Boyd, let's see if we can get a little post-race interview with him.
All right, I'll bring him up here, or Russell went down there. Okay.
Oh, they're joining. They're in.
Mr. Boyd Hogan.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your win, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Looks like a lot of the strongest competition that you have or had in that race ended up getting caught up at wrecks or having other issues. No doubt you were one of the strongest cars, though, but when it came down to the end of that race, there was nobody really to compete with you there, and you just took off. Looks like Brendan Jenks tried, but just couldn't get to you. One of the strongest cars all day.
Yeah, well, Brendan, Josh, and myself, a lot of emphasis on our mile-and-a-half program, and, I mean, it's only going to get stronger as we go. Brought a few really good cars here. It sucks Nelson got caught up in what he did, but Brendan and I knew that as long as we kept our noses clean, we were going to be just fine. I mean, I know the 17 was fast, but I mean, I think Brendan actually just looked at the fastest lap chart, and I mean, I cleared those guys by about a 10th, which was kind of unexpected. And I mean, Brendan ran one of the best races that he could have, and I think everybody had to deal with quite a bit of controversy there. We did certainly early on in the race, and racing Curtis there about halfway through the race, but. Yeah, no, it got better as it ran, and the track freed up a little bit more, and we just kind of took advantage of it. And like you said, everybody else got caught up, and we were at our best when we needed to.
Speaking of Curtis, you were having a lot of trouble passing him. He was really holding it up top nice and smooth. He eventually got by him when he got loose coming out of turn 4. Just tell us a little more about that whole trying to get past and not being able to get it completed on the inside.
Oh man, I tell you, if that's anybody else, I'd have just with Curtis, we raced each other back and forth quite a bit over the past, definitely over the past few weeks. You know, just side by side. Of all the guys we got in the league, he's probably the most fun to race against, and so I was just trying my best to race him clean there. And I knew through 3 and 4, I was just eating him alive. I swear I was probably about 2/10 faster through 3 and 4 there, and I was just kind of waiting for him to slip up because I noticed on the first run he started getting loose. And I mean, as we've been talking about all week there, it's a one-lane track. If you're not willing to put somebody in front of you, then you're stuck behind him. I tried my best to throw it down there on the bottom, but unless it's lap 1 run, you're just not going to do it.
So there we have it from the winner of Kansas, 140 laps. Pretty strong car. We'll see everybody at Martinsville next week.
Yeah. Looking forward to that one, and get some testing going on there. I know Brendan and I have a flight out there next week, so about Tuesday we're looking to land on the next week too.